We try to cover three areas in the research. Number one, what were the awareness levels like pertaining to the World Cup, the Women's World Cup? Secondly, what were the perceptions of the respondents on the quality of cricket? And thirdly, what would motivate people to get involved and engage with women's cricket? We were delighted with the outcome from the research. First of all sports fans surveyed, 65% knew in advance that the World Cup was going to be played, the Women's World Cup. And then once it had happened, virtually 100% of people in those 5 areas, geographical areas that we surveyed, knew it had happened. And what's most exciting was that 93% thought that this was the best quality women's cricket they'd seen. Another stat that jumps out at me is that 50% of the respondents' children were inspired by what they saw during that event, which augurs well for the future of the game. Well, the Women's Championship actually was, I think, a direct catalyst to the increasing quality of the women's game. So many more competitive teams, a much greater depth of quality of cricket within those teams. And this is simply by the fact, or by reason that, the teams are playing each other more regularly. And you only improve when you play against the better quality teams. Going back 5-10 years, it was only England, Australia really that had a realistic chance of winning any ICC event. In the recent Women's World Cup, India came close, South Africa came close, England, Australia, New Zealand, West Indies didn't have a great tournament, but these teams, 5 or 6 teams, are now genuinely competitive. And the second edition of the Women's Championship is only going to help matters progress even further from there. So that, in 2-3 years' time, we've got 9 or 10 teams that can go to a World Cup and potentially win it. What the Women's Championship does for us is, already people are asking, well, India, they did so well at the World Cup, but we haven't seen them play yet. So what the Women's Championship does is give cricket for all the top teams staggered across the year, and to make sure that people can stay engaged with the women's game. But these are exciting times for not only women's cricket, but women in cricket. So we're talking about more participants, more girls, young girls, women taking up the game. But we're also seeing that women are more engaged with cricket generally, are more likely to watch the men's game, are more likely to get involved in umpiring, coaching, even on the administrative side. So very exciting times for cricket generally. If we want to become the world's fastest growing sport, we have to engage 50% of the world's population, and very exciting.